Welcome back to Latvia, everybody. My name's Paul Manning. Thanks for joining us live for our broadcast here. It's round 9 of the FIM Motocross World Championship, the MXGP of Latvia. We are at the Zeltazerv circuit in Kegums. Been on the calendars every year since 2009. Motocross Nations in 2014. Of course, France were victorious that day. That victory started their run that sees them still defending world champions. But that race will not happen until later on in the year at Assen, of course, end of September. This weekend, it's all about the FIM Motocross World Championship Round 9. MXGP Race 1 coming up in just a few moments, but it's Tim Geiser who arrives here as the new championship leader. The Slovenian has a 13-point advantage over Tony Cairoli, and what a past few weeks it has been for the Slovenian and Team HRC. 23 degrees outside, although it feels considerably cooler. Overcast, we had 1 or 2 drops of rain, not too much though, in MX2 Race 1. Certainly the chilliest day we've had so far. Here's the racetrack if you're joining us for the first time, just under 1,800 meters long. It's a sandy base. It will get pretty choppy, but before we go any further, let's take a look behind the scenes at Rockstar Energy Husqvarna Racing.
New season now and a new rider lineup. Quite a rookie riders. Boss was an MX2 world champion. AJ has a massive raw speed, you know, and a talent. We believe, you know, they can have a good season. They can be successful already this season, but especially for the future, we see for 2020-21 that they can be one of the guys, you know, battling for the wins.
Transferring to Husqvarna was a big thing for me. The bike is good, suits me good. It changed me as a person also, and I'm still like learning a lot, but also the bike gave a lot. So complete package is really a big difference.
Preparing for the season, I was interrupted with the ACL injury, which was not easy, and especially because I had to change it to the 450s to move to the MXGP class. Aside from the injury, I think the transition to the MXGP class has been quite good because we've been building up step by step and getting better every race.
It's great to have a Finnish GP back. I think the complete paddock will like it. Everything will be brand new. Knowing the Finnish, you know, I think it's gonna be quite organized event. Kimi Räikkönen is the team owner and he's very involved in running of the team. He loves riding dirt bikes, you know. He's actually a really good rider. Motocross, you know, is of course very difficult, but still he's doing very well. He's a great athlete generally. He's a big motocross fan.
To reach the top spots of the MXGP class, of course, I'm quite confident that I'm gonna reach it one day because I have a really good team behind me, really good people behind me, and you know, I'm a hard-working guy. So you know, with the hard work and a bit of talent, I think in motocross you can do big things.
I'm really looking forward to put a good result together because that's what I need, because I really trying my best every weekend, just I fail there and there, you know, so it's time to put it again on top.
Yeah, for sure. When I got my first MXGP podium in Montova, it was really like a relief because it felt so good to be back on the podium, you know. Even when I was there, I didn't know what I had to do. It felt somehow weird, and but still, I really enjoyed it. It was a special moment.
I don't have different setup or anything, maybe a little bit higher seat, just small things, and in the end somehow I feel the best with running the normal setups. I've been told already from quite young age. We didn't waste time with playing around with small bike when in the end I have to end with big bikes, working from early age to understand the bike and everything, and so far I think for sure we didn't do a big mistake about that. I really love this track, and it's nice. It's really tough, and even if it's hot, it's even more demanding.
It's always nice to come back for my home GP. It's a bit exciting, it's a bit maybe more stressful than a usual GP, but of course I really love to ride at my home track in front of my home crowd.
Look behind the scenes, Rockstar Energy Husqvarna Factory Racing, owned by a Finn, managed by a Finn, an Estonian and a Lithuanian, a Latvian and an Estonian. Anyway, here's pre-grid. Lithuanian and a Latvian on the team. Right, Lisa Leyden caught up with one of our riders, Paul Jonas, ahead of his home Grand Prix here in Latvia. Let's hear what he has to say ahead of MXGP Race 1, shall we?
Welcome to the start of the first MXGP race of the day here in Latvia. Now, I'd like to speak to our home hero, Paul Jonas. The reason I want to speak to you is not only is it your home GP, but we also saw you in qualifying leading quite a few laps of that race. But more importantly, it's actually your first time that you led in MXGP, wasn't it?
Yeah, sure. You know, it wasn't the first time leading the MXGP class, which felt really awesome, and especially at my home, you know, home Grand Prix leading the laps, it felt really good. For sure, it was only quali race, but anyway, you know, to lead laps is not so easy, and especially in the MXGP class. So for sure, I got maybe a bit too excited when I got to the lead, but anyway, it was a good race, you know, and today I'm feeling really well, and track looks to be good, so I'm really looking forward for the great racing.
Well, I was going to say, being your home GP, does it excite you, or with it, does it come added pressure and a little bit more expectation?
I think it's just combinations of everything, you know. For sure there's added pressure, but you know, the crowd cheering on the side of the track just gives you more power, so it's the combination of everything, you know. At some points it helps you, at some points not, but you know, I enjoy racing at home, so that's really important.
Nice new kit as well for the occasion?
Yeah, it looks really good. I think Yoko Sports did a really good job, and you know, a little bit like a Latvian flag, so fans can see me.
Have a great race. Thanks, Paul. Now, we have a special guest at MXGP this weekend. It's Olympic gold medalist Janne Latela. Janne, great to have you here. Firstly, just tell us quickly what you've been up to.
Well, I was a skier before. 2002, I won the Olympic gold medals in freestyle skiing, and after my career, I'm a friend of Kimi, and when Ice One started the first years, I was helping the riders with their physical training, and so I've been following the sport a lot, and really enthusiastic fan.
So what is it about MXGP? I mean, it's totally different to your sport, isn't it? What is it that you like so much about MXGP?
It's difficult to put in a few words, but it's just, I think it's the most exciting sport I've ever watched. I mean, like every time I come here, it's just like it's so exhilarating. It's just the adrenaline and the speed, everything. It's just like, and I was a hobby rider myself, and seeing these guys go as fast as they do, it's mind blowing.
And of course, yesterday it was actually announced that we've got an event in Finland next year. So that's pretty exciting. Will you be going to that?
Absolutely. It's about time we get a home race for Ice One Racing, and MXGP Finland will be, like, I mean, for the next 3 years. It will be amazing, and it's a really good opportunity for all the MX fans in Finland to be involved in that, and it's going to be awesome.
It really is. Now, considering you're supporting Ice One, I'm guessing a Paul Jonas, you're going to be cheering for him?
Absolutely, absolutely.
Have a great race, and it's fantastic to have you here.
Thank you.
Okay. Good luck there to all the guys, and it's nice to meet him. It's time for MXGP Race 1.
So, a few moments ago, the riders disappeared out on track for their sighting lap. We'll see the qualifying race highlights in a few moments, of course. But what can we expect from MXGP Race 1? There's Tony Cairoli, just behind him Brian Bogus and Tommy Searle. And the mechanics are working frantically on Jeffrey Herlings' bike, because on the sighting lap, the Bullet had a bit of an off, and it was caught by our cameras. Just watch this. And went down pretty hard as well, and almost got connected there. He did get caught there by AJ. So Jeffrey Herlings, very lucky to be lining up for MXGP Race 1. Wow. Looked like AJ caught his right foot as well, from one Red Bull KTM to the other. Tony Cairoli arrives here second place in the championship, 13 points behind Tim Geiser now. This is how it looks. Geiser on 351, Cairoli 338, Paulan 107 points behind in third. And then we have Siwa, Jasikonis and Desal in sixth. Desal, of course, get well soon. Leg break last week in Russia. And then we've got Tonus, Lieber, Van Horbik and Koldenhoff. Great season so far for Arnaud Tonus. 3 podiums on the bounce now. Anyway, here's what happened yesterday in the MXGP qualifying race. Jeffrey Herlings reacted quickest as the gate dropped. Geiser was a little bit off balance as he was trying to deal with the two Husqvarnas. Tonus ran it too deep. Herlings came away with a hole shot. That opened the door for PJ41. Paul Jonas to go through. Got the home fans on their feet. Siwa was in 4th position in the early stages of the race, but it was Herlings who tried to do his disappearing act. But halfway around the lap, number 41, Paul Jonas, doubled the final sequence of the waves. Fans roared their approval. Geiser struggled through the waves. Tonus nipped on through to get into 5th place, as seen by Tim Geiser, Team HRC. Tony Cairoli was being hunted down by Paulan, who was just having one of those qualifying races. He rectified the mistake, though, by going past Tony Cairoli to move himself briefly up another position, as AJ was on the charge with a move on Siwa. Anstey then found his way past Cairoli, and then Paulan, lucky to stay up. That was the on-board GoPro lap look from Paulan as he came into land. Then Geiser pulled a 180, quite literally, whilst he was in 6th position. The notorious waves catching him out. Watch this. Panic rev. Ground sky, run back to the bike and to oncoming traffic, came in for a pit stop, had it all straightened out. There was nothing they could do. And in the end, you can hear what it meant to him, because Geiser eventually came home in 18th, Paulan in 16th place, and then Paulan went down again after catching the rear wheel of Cairoli. A mistake in the end from Jonas, just around the halfway mark, allowed Herlings to get back through. Tonus passed Jonas as well to move into 2nd. AJ wasn't too far behind, he went through for 3rd. And then Siwa also capitalised on a mistake from Jonas to move himself into 4th. Jonas, though, still got his best qualifying of the season. Herlings was victorious, though. And I wonder how badly damaged Herlings is after that crash on the sighting lap. Here's a closer look at the top 5. 2:43, Tim Geiser arrives here as a championship leader, 13 points clear of Cairoli. Paulan, Siwa, Tonus, your top 5. But Tim Geiser, what a season, what a turnaround he's had. Just 4 rounds ago, he was 40 points down on Cairoli. By the time we left Russia last week, 3 rounds in a row, he's just won all 6 races, and he's now 13 clear. He scored 53 points more than Cairoli in those last 6 races. Herlings goes to the line first, though, based on his qualifying race win. Tonus, his best qualifying this year in 2nd. Tonus, Van Horbik, Siwa, Jonas, and then Monticelli, Koldenhoff, Roman Fevre, Julian Lieber. Tony Cairoli, apparently sick. He's got some kind of fever. Even when he landed at the airport a couple of days ago, he was struggling with dealing with stuff, everyday stuff, like even carrying a kit bag. But anyway, looks like we've got the rain coming back again. Right, split screen. Man on the left is your championship leader, Tim Geiser. He has the red plate on the front of his red Honda. Cairoli's shaking his head. He's not happy. Not happy at all. And 13 points down, and wasn't riding great yesterday, and just, I don't know, tough times for Cairoli at the moment. Portugal wasn't too bad, 2 seconds there. He had a 2nd in race 1 France. Then, obviously, he hit the gate in France race 2. 12th in Russia race 1, 4th in race 2. But with Geiser going 1-1-1-1-1-1, 53 points more in the last 6 races. That's massive. Right, Jeffrey Herlings looks like he's recomposed himself, but that was, we didn't see the crash. He was just on the downside underneath his bike. AJ came over and almost landed clean into him. Clipped his right foot, I think, on the way through, so hopefully no damage there. But he's come this way. He's not going to not line up, is he? Jeffrey Herlings in gate number 1. Right. We're getting ready to go racing. MXGP race 1, 30 minutes plus 2 laps. We are waiting for the Fly Racing 15-second board to be hoisted up. That man right there has that responsibility of giving us the green light, or the green flag if you like, Mr. Ingo Parch, our FIM race director. So, the Fly Racing board does go up. We are very much under starters' orders here. MXGP race 1, it's round 9 of the FIM Motocross World Championship. The MXGP of Latvia and the Zelta circuit. Kegums. Herlings over on the left side. Geiser in the middle of the gate. He looks to try and swing across, and it's Cairoli who gets there as well. Man lays it down. That'll be Lieber. He gets beat up. Boga's down there with him as well. Flagman doing his bit for the riders that aren't bringing up the rear. But it's Cairoli who leads away. Arnaud Tonus, though, alongside the Italian, and moves into the lead around turn 3. Cairoli will try to barge his way down the inside. He does. Takes back over the lead. Herlings in third. Geiser in fourth. Monticelli or Anstey in fifth place. Monticelli. Yeah, the 128 standing construct KTM. Then just behind them, the 91 of Siwa and Febvre. So teammates, the Monster Energy Yamaha, side by side as they hit the line. But Febvre squeezes his teammate to the inside. Yes, he does. AJ in red around the outside. Then Leop, then Van Horbik. And Strybos or Goal? Goal, I think that was. The 297 for JWR Racing. So Cairoli, he needs to check out here if he can, because he needs those points in the championship. But Herlings won't make it easy for Geiser. He is a little bit ring rusty though, isn't he? He was out of puff as he came in after that qualifying race yesterday as well, the number 84. But Tony Cairoli, he knows what's at stake here. Not seen him up at the front end for a few races now. So this will almost be like alien territory to the 9-time champ. 222 on the Red Bull KTM. Tonus, Herlings. This is where Herlings crashed on the sighting lap. Ended up upside down his bike. AJ came over the jump and almost nailed him while he was on the deck. But Herlings gets good drive. He's going to find his way past Tonus here. No, Tonus is going to double the combination here at the end of the straight and keep his Yamaha just ahead of the KTM. Second and third going at it. Then fourth and fifth. We've got Geiser and Monticelli. Give you the rundown. Obviously, lots of people moving up and down the leaderboard on this opening lap here, but Tonus got his hands full with Herlings here in the early stages of MXGP Race 1 as Cairoli looking to get his head down. Geiser, well, he's just sitting there, just waiting for things to happen, waiting for the track to settle down. Herlings up the inside of the Swiss and easily finds his way through. Right, Cairoli leads the way. What will the gap be as they hit the line for the first official time, though? That's the question. Febvre looks to go around the outside and up the inside. The 128 standing construct KTM of Imo Monticelli read it well. Thwarted the attack. So Cairoli at 56.4, half a second quicker than Herlings. The gap 2.1 seconds. Third is Tonus. Fourth, Geiser. But for how much longer? Because Roman Febvre right there, 461 on his Yamaha. He's found his way past Monticelli on the run down towards the finish line. Siwa is 7, Jasikonis 8, Van Horbik 9, and Forland 10. Searle 11, Anton Goal is in 12th place. 13, Tano Leo, Anstey 14, Petrov, De Waal, De Wolf, Tixier, Karol Kutsar, and Harry Kulas. Just outside of the points, we've got Jonathan Benson. Paul Jonas at his home Grand Prix, not where he wants to be on these opening couple of laps. Kevin Strybos just outside of the points as well. Koldenhoff, a former winner here. He is in 27th place ahead of Bogas, Brylyakov, Gertcher, and Lieber. Lieber went down at turn 1, remember. And here's why Jonas is down at the back. Oh, he got into the... that's the second time he's been down as well. So the 93 that would have been. Jonathan Bengtsson just ahead of him. Right, back at the sharp end then, shall we? Tim Geiser going after the number 4. Arnaud Tonus, and the battle for third will resume any moment now. Herlings not in the hunt for the championship, but I'm sure he and everybody else at Red Bull KTM realise the importance that he will have in the outcome of this race, and points, of course, for the championship for his teammate, whether he likes it or not. Febvre will also do his bit as well. He slides up the inside of Tim Geiser. Now, is he carrying a small little niggle or two after his 180 off the side of the bike, off the back of the bike in the qualifying race yesterday? Because he definitely doesn't look like he's in that much of a hurry. Febvre is, though. Full factory Monster Energy Yamaha going after the satellite squad. Number 4, Arnaud Tonus at Monster Energy Wilvo Yamaha. 2 KTMs, 2 Yamahas and a Honda. Then another Yamaha, actually. Good showing for the Blue Boys. 3 in the top 6. Monticelli in 7, KTM. Jasikonis, Van Horbik, Forland. Good to see the Jerryman kind of back in the mix inside the top 10 for Honda SR Motor Blues. Third and fourth right here, Tonus and Febvre. The Baltic States well represented this weekend with the Lithuanian of Jasikonis. You've got Harry Kulas, who rides under an Estonian license these days. You've got obviously the homeboy Paul's Jonas, but Jonas outside of the points at the moment. Oh, no! Oh, no good drive there. And Febvre had to correct and check himself up there. There's Geiser just being left in the background at the moment. In 5th place for Team HRC. Right, Febvre getting ready to queue himself up here for a move on the number 4 of Arnaud Tonus. Herlings is not getting it. You know what? Herlings not really going after Cairoli at the moment, but also some of this is also a bit of preservation, if you know what I mean. Knows he can't blow himself out for 2 motos, even in these sandy conditions. Definite ring rusty as Febvre looks to go the long way round around the outside of the number 4 of Arnaud Tonus. He'll take the lower line here, try to cut back up the inside if he can. Oh, he keeps it in there. Tonus knows he's there though. Febvre has to wait another few yards or so, but he goes long there, and obviously where the guys are landing there, it builds up a bit of a berm. If you overcook it, you're landing right across the edge of what will be a sand ridge. Seeing guys do that and have to go to the plum farm just for a new set after that, but Febvre managing to keep his in check just as well. Right, number 4. Tonus still hanging on to that 3rd. Nervous looks from Febvre's camp as the 2 Yamahas close in on Herlings, and a nice neat move up the inside from AT4, as in Arnaud Tonus up the inside of the number 84. But will he respond here? Yes, he does immediately. Will he find his way back past the Swiss rider? No. Bar to bar as they go through the final part of the wave section, and Tonus now back into 2nd. Red Bull KTM will be hoping that the number 84 can keep at least the number 80, keep Herlings in between Geiser and Cairoli for some much needed points, because that's exactly what the situation needs to be in terms of keeping this championship alive. But Geiser not really firing on all cylinders. Just there in the background, look, number 243, Team HRC. It was very close coming into land, wasn't it? Just across the way from here between these two. As Herlings look to respond immediately. Again, tries to force the issue down the inside. So the 2 Yamaha split between by the KTM of number 84, Jeffrey Herlings. Championship at the moment looks like this: 367 for Geiser. Cairoli back in the mix, 363. It's 4 points in it now. As long as Cairoli stays up front and Geiser in 5th, then we've got a 4-point game going into race number 2. It was 13 at the start of the race, remember. 21.5 minutes though, plus 2 laps. Anything can happen. Geiser is being caught by Siwa. Jasikonis won't be too far behind either. So what was a shocking qualifying race yesterday, and a very below par and sick Tony Cairoli. This is something of a turnaround for the 9-time champ to be A, leading the race, 2, for the first 4 laps, and closing in on the championship to the tune of 4 points, because the man in form coming into this one has definitely been Tim Geiser. 6 wins on the bounce, and the holder of the red plate. But Cairoli on the ropes as well as Tonus goes through. Oh, that's going to do Geiser a favour by about 3 more points, I would think. Is he starting to hit the wall here, Cairoli, because of his fever, because of his sickness? Has he spent all his energy in the first 5 laps here? Herlings still in 3rd, Febvre in 4th, as Cairoli comes precariously close to the edge of the circuit there as he comes into land. Oh, we're getting a decent race here, aren't we, in MXGP? Tonus, the new race leader. The Monster Energy Wilbo Yamaha rider, number 4, leads on lap 5. No need to panic just yet, though, boys. 20 minutes plus 2. Here was the moment Tonus found his way past Cairoli. Same place he did Herlings. Held a nice tight line, cornered like he was on rails. Perfectly executed. 5 laps complete. We have a new race leader, Arnaud Tonus, Monster Energy Wilbo Yamaha. Second is Tony Cairoli, ahead of his Red Bull KTM teammate Jeffrey Herlings, who feels the heat from the Monster Energy Yamaha of Roman Febvre there, 461 in 4th place. Tim Geiser, Team HRC, is in 5th, just out of shot at the moment. He was the championship leader coming in. He still leads the championship, but by 7 points now. It was 4 going into the 5th lap. But with that pass Tonus put on Cairoli, all of a sudden, there is a little bit of daylight for the Slovenian. Jasikonis is in 6th place for Rockstar Energy Husqvarna. 7th is Siwa, the second of the Monster Energy Yamahas. The Honda SR Motor Blues machine of Van Horbeke is 8. Monticelli standing construct is in 9. And Paulin is 10. Anstey 11. Searle for Boss Factory in 12th place. Jordi Tixier's VHR KTM is 13. Leok 14 for A1M Husqvarna. 15 North Europe KTM of Petar Petrov is 15. Goal for JWR. Yamaha is in 16th place. Keeping an eye on this and the timing screen at the same time. 17th for Koldenhoff. 18th for Misha Dewal on the Hutton Metals Yamaha. 19th Karol Kutsar. Riding in this weekend in 19th place. And in 20th position we have Brian Bogus. Right, Cairoli coming under attack now from his teammate. Well, I'd like to have been a fly on the wall. Look at this. This is how much everybody's separated by here as Paulin dies at the inside of Monticelli. The top 10 riders separated by about 9 seconds, so less than a second between the top 10 riders individually. And it's a whole freight train here, look, continues around the corner. You've got Tonus, Cairoli, Herlings. There's your top 3. Then we've got Febvre there in 4. Then Geiser in 5. 6 is Jasikonis. 7 Siwa, Van Horbeke, Paulin, Monticelli. But Tonus continues to lead. 1.5 seconds clear of Cairoli. Herlings fortunate to be in the race. He crashed on the sighting lap. Bent the front end of his bike, almost got landed on by Arminas Jasikonis, who clipped his foot as he went past. You feel there's still plenty of legs and still room for plenty more drama in this first MXGP race here in Latvia. It's round 9 of the FIM Motocross World Championship. We are at the Zelta Zerbs circuit here in Kegums. And Tonus continues to lead. That's his gap over the 2 KTMs. Great vocal crowd here this weekend. Probably one of the best atmospheres we've had at this place since we came here, of course, discounting the FIM Monster Energy Motocross of Nations as Herlings looks to dive up the inside of his teammate. He won't pass him. Surely he can't. Surely the points in the championship are far more vital. We'll soon find out. Herlings does demote his teammate to 3rd. To 4th. So Tonus leads, Herlings 2nd, Cairoli now being pushed back to 3rd. Febvre is 4th. Geiser, he'll be looking ahead and saying, you know what, I want a piece of the 222. And he's going after Febvre here. He knows that Cairoli is potentially a sitting target now. 7 points the gap. Before lap 7, it will increase by 2 more because of the pass Herlings just put on his teammate a moment ago. So what was looking like a shaky red plate on the front of that Honda, all of a sudden looks a little bit more firmly attached. Just the 1 screw missing. And Herlings going for the jugular here. He is half a second behind Arnaud Tonus. He believes that with 15.5 minutes plus 2 laps to go, he can pick up a race win here. Febvre will believe that he can get in the top 3 as well. He's got the TC 222 just ahead of him. He's having to battle his own mind, his own body, fatigue, illness, sickness, fever. He left it out there for 4 or 5 laps or so before coming undone when Tonus found his way through. But here's AJ. AJ could also be a real party pooper here, and he does. He gets alongside Geiser. Blessed by the championship leader, and Siwa is there in the background as well. AJ has the Lithuanian fans on their feet as the man in red rails the outside, gets that momentum going. And Cairoli is just ahead of him. Febvre is just ahead of him as well. Great atmosphere here. He led race 2 a couple of years ago here, didn't he? When he was Suzuki mounted, AJ. So he knows what it's like to lead here. He knows what it's like to have the vocal support from the fans from just across the border. Top 10 guys just 10.5 seconds apart. So it is starting to get drawn out now with 14 minutes plus 2 laps to go. There's the Jerry man in white, Jeremy Van Horebeke. He closes in on Geiser. I wonder if there are any Honda orders there as well. Stay behind the 243. Surely the halfway stage of the championship, not even. It's too early for all of that, but Geiser definitely looks a little bit detuned. Not the same guy we saw in the last 6 motos. Right. Tonus, Herlings, about 2 seconds apart. Cairoli 3rd, Febvre 4th, Jasikonis 5, Siwa is 6th, Geiser is in 7th place. Wow, so Siwa on the charge as well. And the championship back down to 7 points, 365, 358. Geiser, Cairoli. 13 at the start of the race, remember. Oh, nervous look over the shoulder from the 222, the rider in 3rd there, but Romain Febvre hasn't got close enough at the moment to try and rub salt in the wounds of Cairoli, who is not watching his championship disappear, but he's obviously had a rough run of it the last 3 rounds and not feeling good coming into this 4th consecutive round here. Hasn't got the strength to muscle his bike through the wave section. AJ closing in on Febvre. This is for 4th place. So the Rockstar Energy Husqvarna rider, number 27. Starting to launch an attack in the final 12 minutes or so of this race. Geiser has broken free from the clutches of Van Horebeke momentarily as he does his best to hang on to Siwa. The HRC rider going through in 7th place. A real test of attrition, this one. Looking like he's found 2nd gear, though. All of a sudden looks interested in the final 3rd of this race. Tim Geiser. Almost out the front door, Romain Febvre, as he came into the braking zone shortly after completing 9 laps. Showing his desperation now to find his way past the 222 ahead of him, who continues to hang on to 3rd place on his Red Bull KTM. Montreal's Yamaha rider, though, swings to the outside, looks for a smoother line, a rut-free line on that step down. We've got back markers coming into play here. 62 of Clement Gertcher. Febvre, surely only a matter of time before he goes around and makes a pass on Cairoli. Concerned faces on the Cairoli side of the garage at Red Bull KTM. Not sure what's more surprising, actually. Cairoli sitting there in 3rd despite a very definite beating over the last few rounds. Body, mind, soul, confidence. Or Herlings sitting there in 2nd. No surprise about the guy who's leading, though, Arnaud Tonus. He is, for the last 3 or 4 rounds, has shown that he is ready to lead and ready to win in MXGP. And he's doing it quite comfortably at the moment. Ooh, about 1.5 seconds clear at the end of lap 9. We're coming towards the end of lap 10. Can Herlings do anything to change that, though? What about Cairoli? Oh, he almost gets ejected out of the front door as well. Catching a horrible little braking bump going into the corner. Watch this, comes into land. Boom! Just about got it back under control. Right, Tonus, a 1:58.003. Herlings 0.8 slower. The gap now 2.5 between 1st and 2nd. kind of get the feeling that things are just settling down a little bit. Everyone just taking a bit of a pause, bit of a breather, and going, right, give it another lap or so, and let's pull the trigger and go. But who is going to go first? Arnaud Tonus minding his own business out front, nearly 3 seconds clear of Herlings. Cairoli's been under the cosh with the relentless pressure from 461 Fevre for the last few laps. The Frenchman desperate to find a way past the Italian into third in his quest to split the 2 KTMs. AJ keeping a watching brief, and then Siwa, a bit of a bobble there for Fevre. He falls right back into the clutches of AJ 27. So Jasakonis then all of a sudden senses a 4th place is on the offering here. A little bit squirrely coming out of that turn though for the tall Lithuanian. All of a sudden, 2nd, 3rd, 4th, a little bit more equidistant. Bit more of a reasonable gap for all of them. But AJ under attack from Siwa all of a sudden from out of nowhere. Guys are trying to go with him. The Van Horbik Honda, number 89 in 8th place, just off the back of this train as well. Another mistake there from AJ, and he's looking down at the bike. The Rockstar Energy Husqvarna rider, has he lost a rear brake there or something? Will he have to come into pit lane? Well, that hands a position back, yeah, and he's looking down. Wondering whether he caught a stone just underneath the rear brake pedal there. Normally, you wouldn't expect that, not in this day and age. They have all kinds of little gadgets now that they can... I'll tell you what, Siwa off the side of the track there as he came into land. But AJ has now dropped. And that's handed a position, a vital position back to 243. Can't believe it, look, got no brake. Not sure why, but did he get a stone in there? Didn't have a brake, and all of a sudden it's freed itself, or has he overheated it? Who knows? So Tonus, Herlings, Cairoli, Fevre, Siwa, Geiser now into 6th place. So AJ going out of 6th. Van Horbik up to 7, Paulin 8, Monticelli 9, Anstey and Searle 10 and 11. Geiser on 366, Cairoli on 358. That's how it looks at the top of the championship in MXGP right now. Cairoli is ahead of Geiser. Cairoli 3rd, Geiser in 6th. Doing his best to get the points gap down, but what will he have in the tank for race 2? Tony Cairoli, how much by being up front? Oh, gets a swap on as well, going into that right-hander. How much energy has he exerted at the start of this race, Cairoli? Watch this. Things like that won't help. Seems to me like Romain Fevre at the moment just got caught behind Cairoli. He found a way through, got onto the rear wheel, needed to pass him straight away. Hasn't happened, and now he's got caught at that kind of pace, unless he's got something else up his sleeve for the next 6 minutes plus 2 laps. Tonus extended his lead 3 seconds a moment ago. What is it now? 2.9. So a 10th here and a 10th there, gained and lost by the leader and the guy pursuing him in 2nd place, Herlings. Cairoli doing a great job hanging on the 3rd, though. Fevre looking to change that. Siwa, Fevre's teammate, about 3 seconds behind him in 5th place, and not far behind him is Geiser. Again, about another second further back. Arnaud Tonus leading the way for Monster Energy. Wilvo Yamaha missed all of the 2018 season, did the Swiss rider. AJ coming in for that work on the bike, but you can see the disappointment on the mechanics' faces there. Hasn't won a race since race 1 Switzerland. Handful of rounds before the end of the season back in 2017, Arnaud Tonus. Can he nail one down here at the first attempt? at this Latvian Grand Prix. 2 years later, almost. A position that he's not been in for almost 2 years, number 4. Can he maintain his composure and keep the number 84 behind him? .9 was the gap. See the difference in line there? Herlings jumping a little bit longer. Has he got this gap down, though? Quicker at sector 3, quicker in sector 2. Tonus will hit the line. It was 2.996, the gap between him and Herlings. But as we come over the line, it's 1.4, so the gap is coming down. The Bullet has started to think, you know what? This win is there for the taking. It may as well be me, but Tonus needs to up his game now. He will know that the 84 is closing him down. He will know that he's got to put his finger out here. He challenged Geiser for the race win a week ago in Russia, race 2. Got alongside the Slovenian on more than one occasion. Caught a hay bale, a tough block, whatever you want to call it, going into a tight right. Back end came around on him, left him in second position. Maybe that instilled a bit of confidence that he could actually challenge for the race win, rather than the podiums that he's been gladly picking up the last 3 rounds. Third, second, Portugal, France, and Russia. It's looking solid here at the moment, though. But so too is the man closing him down in orange, Jeffrey Herlings. The defending champion, been missing since Russia. Got 4th overall on his return. Right, Tonus and Herlings. Oh, Herlings just catching an edge as he tried to get over the first 2 waves there. Oh, he's homing in on the number 4. Nicely done. 2 different lines there. Wide sweep up to the inside. Crunch time. MXGP race 1. 2.9, 1.4. What's the gap going to be this time? Absolutely down to 0. And 1:52 on the clock as we go through. So we're going to be 3 laps to go, because it's 1:56 lap time, 1:57. Ooh, it's going to be tight, isn't it? Depends with traffic, and might be 4 laps to go, you know. See how this one plays out, whether there's any little trip-ups along the way. These two getting in each other's way, but it's been a real enthralling contest between. Oh, panic rev there from Tonus. Obviously caught a rut or an edge on takeoff. Fortunately, it wasn't the biggest jump on the racetrack. For the number 4, the race leader, these two are about 5.5, 6 seconds clear of Cairoli in 3rd. Fevre hasn't been able to flex his muscles to advance past the Italian. He remains in 4th place. And Siwa 5th, Geiser 6th, Van Horbik, Paulin, Monticelli and Anstey remains there in 10th as Herlings plans an attack here. They are absolutely bar to bar. He will see the flash of orange, and Herlings makes a mistake. Has nowhere to go, has to use the bank. Costs him a little bit of time. Tonus runs him wide, but the momentum taking him that far out to the left-hand side of the bank. Another bubble there for the 84. Just needs to get himself back in check here. Watch this here a moment ago. Bar to bar as they came through. Watch this, comes into land. Take off side by side here. Herlings got to go the long way round. And then, just catches the bank. And this was, second is okay, 3 laps, but it's never okay, is it, Jeffrey? On his Insta post. 4th overall, Russia, happy with that for now. Okay, 2 laps to go then. Tonus, Herlings over the line, separated by 0.243 of a second. And a mistake from Tonus. I wasn't sure if Herlings was going to make the way around the outside. He went wide, but a bobble going into the turn. I thought he might just be there to rescue it, Tonus. So Herlings leads then on the penultimate lap. A bobble there, I thought he might rectify it here, but just too much speed around the outside. Herlings is the new leader on lap 16. Tonus is going to have to push the envelope now. Great race. Great race if you're a neutral, that's for sure. Right, does he get the drive through the waves? Yes, he does. Tonus hanging off the back of that Yamaha as he goes back after Jeffrey Herlings here and tries to regain the lead. Tonus, he won't give up the fight. He'll be frustrated underneath that helmet of his at the moment. Both riders need to stay focused. Just over a lap to go. Despite his lack of fitness, race time, despite still feeling pain in his foot, the defending champ has showed up here, even with the crash on the sighting lap. And a knackered or a bent front end. He enters the final lap as the race leader, just over a second between him and Tonus. Oh, trails a leg as he goes into that left-hander. Nothing major, but he's got it wrapped around the rear wheel, actually. Very lucky. Are we going to see a change in lead on the final third of the lap here? Or is Jeffrey Herlings going to take his first win of the season as a defending champion? Oh, Tonus is coming back for more. The gloves are off. Is he going to nip up the inside like he did at the start of the race here? He has taken the challenge right the way back to the 84 here is the number 4. He'll want good drive out of this wave section, out of this turn. A bobble there from Herlings. Tonus does get good drive. He gets better drive. Both riders double their way through the final wave section. Tonus is not done yet. He's had to dig in deep since making that slight mistake that allowed Herlings through a lap or so ago. But Jeffrey Herlings is a few corners away from taking what could be a first race win, but Tonus is going to make it very difficult for him. Can't take your eyes off of this, can you? A mistake will decide it here. Herlings buries his Pirellis deep into that sand turn. Gets on the gas. Just these two corners to go. This and the long sweeping left towards the finish line. Jeffrey Herlings, Red Bull KTM, Arnaud Tonus, Monster Energy Wilbo Yamaha. Stand up and take a bow, boys, but it's going to be the defending champion who takes his first race win of 2019. And he does it in emphatic fashion as well. He made the most of that mistake from Arnaud Tonus, but Tony Cairoli coming home in third. And he'll be pleased with that, I would think. But Cairoli 4th, Febra 5, Siwa 6, Geiser comes through in 7th place. Is he carrying a niggle going into the races this weekend after his qualifying race yesterday, his get-off in qualifying yesterday? His lead has been cut from 13 before race 1 to 8 as we head into race 2. Anyway, Jeffrey Herlings not going to listen to his mechanics, is he? Second is okay. He's like, nah, not having that. It's all about the W. Probably didn't even see it. Had his eyes focused on the man ahead, which at that time was Arnaud Tonus, with 3 laps to go. Capitalised on a mistake a lap later. And then he just had to compose himself. Then it's not like he's never won a race before, is it? Anyway, here is Jeffrey Herlings, a winner for the first time in 2019. He's with Lisa.
Jeffrey Herlings, congratulations, you're back. We saw on the pit board your mechanic saying that a second was okay, but you pushed for that win. Tell us about it.
Yeah, it's a shame. On the starting lap, I had a crash, and just a small one, but Jesse Connors rode over my bad feet. So now I'm going to make x-rays because I have so much pain meanwhile riding now. It's unbelievable. So I'm going to get quickly to see the doctor, and hopefully I can line up second moto. But yeah, riding was good, but I had so much pain. So yeah, hope to see you guys second moto again.
Okay, thank you.
So here's Jeffrey Herlings then. He wins MXGP Race 1 by 1.5 seconds over Arnaud Tonus. The bullet is back for now, but you just heard his post-race interview there with Lisa Leyland. How badly damaged is his right foot? Again, he said he was riding through the pain barrier because, as we'll see in a moment, his incident on the sighting lap where Jessiconis ran over his or clipped his right foot. We'll have to wait and see, but fans got a treat there in that first MXGP race. Here's the result then. Jeffrey Herlings wins by just over a second from Arnaud Tonus. Tony Cairoli third, gaining points on Geiser. Febvre fourth, Stewa 5, Geiser was 6, Van Horbeke 7, and Gauthier Paulin was 8. Max Anstey was 9 ahead of his teammate, Ivo Monticelli, who came home in 10th. Searle back in the thick of it. In 11th position, ahead of Glenn Koldenoff, who comes home in 12th, ahead of Jordi Tixier, Tano Leok, Petar Petrov, and Misha Duwal. We had Paul Jonas, 17th, Brian Bogus, 18th, Strybos, 19th, and Josh van der Meerden. Sven van der Meerden, sorry, coming home in 20th place. Championship. Geiser on 366, Cairoli on 358. Gauthier Paulin third, Sewa 4. No DeSalle now, of course, so Tonus picks up another couple places. Jessiconis loses one. Back brake issues of some sort whilst he was challenging for the top 5. So still very much game on, isn't it? Got a long way to go in this championship. The crash from Geiser, a timely reminder. Right, this is what happened. Herlings on the sighting lap. He went down, look, underneath his bike. Jessiconis ran into his right foot, not once, but twice. He felt it as well. Wow. So we saw that as he was lining up for the start of the race, but for those who missed it earlier, that was for you guys. Anyway, here's the highlights of MXGP Race 1. What a race this was. Right, Geiser from the centre of the box tried to get across because of his poor qualifying race yesterday, but over the line, we had Lieber going down at the back and Bogus going down with him as well. But it was Cairoli who led in the early stages of the race. Tonus right there in second, but it wasn't long before the Yamaha rider took over the lead. Herlings into third. Geiser was pushed into fourth and then, well, fifth and then fourth because he found his way past Monticelli. Jonas went down as he caught Bengtsson. Roman Febvre doing his best to help out Tony Cairoli at the sharp end because that move on Geiser lost him a couple of points. Then, after leading briefly, or get himself into the lead briefly, or into second place, Tonus went after Herlings and then after Cairoli took over the lead. Cairoli then lost second place as his teammate went by. Jessiconis also got in the mix, found his way past Geiser to get himself into, what, 5th or 6th place, and then he had an issue looking down at the back brake, eventually went into pit lane for repairs. That allowed Geiser to pick up another point in that championship chase. How vital is that point going to be later on in the year? Febvre couldn't find his way past Tony Cairoli despite his hard efforts to push for third. And with 2 laps to go, a bobble coming out of the turn here, going into the next left for Tonus. He got his leg caught on a bank. Herlings found a way through. And from there, he managed it. He took the win, his first of the season, by 1.5 seconds. Tonus and Cairoli rounded out the top 3. What a great race that was. There was so much going on, so much drama, so much tension. And guess what? We've got it all to do again in a couple hours' time. But anyway, foxhole shot then, shall we? Ooh, I wouldn't want to be the line judge on that one. It looked like it was on the far side. It was. Jeffrey Herlings snuck through. So Tony Cairoli on 8. Jeffrey Herlings, his teammate, picks up his first. Right, let's prep that first turn then, shall we? Fantastic MXGP first race here this weekend. Let's take a look at some of the best moments though, shall we? From that first race, there was a lot to look at. Right, we're going to take a break just over an hour. We will return to Latvia for the conclusion for MX2 and MXGP. Race 2 coming up next. We'll see you in about an hour's time. Bye for now.